What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Ready to Love Season 6, Episode 12. The episode is titled Decisions. Thank God for that. This season has been one for the books for me. I was over it. I'm glad it's over. And we can move forward to the reunion. Which looked like it was going to be, the reunion looked like it's going to be lit. Now, before we go ahead and just jump into the review, which it ain't going to be much to the review. I doubt this is going to be oh God. This ain't going to be that long of a video. We'll see how long we get this video done. But hey, yeah, before we get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other on my channel and are not subscribed, I am going to need you guys to do me that solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out the way, you guys, without further ado, let's discuss Ready to Love, shall we? All right, guys, so I've already said it, but thank God that this season is over. That was the first thing in my notes is thank God this season is over. It was draining. It was time consuming because I just didn't feel like anybody was really there for love. Only people that I can say I feel may have been there for love is Joy and Clifton. But even at the end of the season, now I'm starting to question Joy and Clifton, and more specifically, Joy. Actually, I know I question both of them because Clifton gave me some red flags earlier in the season, especially when they met up with the exes. He gives me the vibe that he is that ex that'll dibble and dabble with another ex. And then with Joy, why did we find out at the end of the season that you are going to Mexico for 6 months out of the year? Okay, I'm done with that, right? So we see everyone as they're meeting up for brunch, right? So we see Paul is there, Dakia is there. We see Carmen, she's having a conversation with Clifton, and we see Joy having a conversation with Donovan, right? So they're both having the same conversation, right? About, her going to Mexico for 6 months, right? She's like, it's not that I don't like y'all, but I'm ready to be with him. How do you propose that one, right? Because you just told us, you just said it, you're going to leave, and I from what I'm gathering, it sounds as if Joy is leaving a week after filming wraps. I'm going to put air quotes around that because I know Sabrina from last season, when Sabrina had that date with was it Mumin and with Walter? So Sabrina said that the producers came to her. Remember, Sabrina told them she had to leave because she had a styling gig. She said she didn't have a styling gig, that the producers came to her and said, you got to make up something, basically so that she could leave the table, right? So I just be wondering how much of this stuff is real. And I'm not saying that Joy doesn't have a job, that she does. Maybe I'm wondering with this whole in 1 week she's going to be leaving, right? Because here's my thing. Why did you come on this show knowing that sounds like if they didn't speed up the process or something like that, if people didn't self-eliminate, y'all would still be doing this process, which would have been a conflict with your work, right? Think about that, you guys. Just think about it. If a lot of these people had not self-eliminated, because that's what happened, a lot of people self-eliminated. And if people hadn't self-eliminated, you guys would, oh God, we would be still dealing with this damn process even longer, right? But yeah, so that would have been a conflict of interest with your music. So that's why I'm just wondering how much of it is, actual her real life and how much of it is for this damn show. So Tommy comes in and Tommy informs, the cast that at this point, Demetrius and Sabrina have both ended their journey. Y'all know I'm not the biggest fan of Carmen, but when Carmen said goodbye to Sabrina, she really didn't care. I have the same sentiments, right? So Tommy tells the ladies that, well, this week, ladies, you met the men's families last week. Well, this week we're going to turn the tables and you ladies are going to introduce these men to your families. I was just in there like, why are we doing this? I'm like, can we just end this show at this point? Like, I know we got a whole hour to spare, but damn, can you give me I would have been fine if you gave me a clip show where they were reminiscing on what happened this past season. I would have been cool with that. Because this stuff that I got right here, I just didn't really need it. It was pointless. It was a waste of my time. That is an hour of my life that I can never get back. But what we're going to do here is pause and we're going to move forward. And like I said, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm already at 5 minutes and this is pre-editing. But yeah, we're going to pause here and move forward. All right, you guys. So I can't talk about Carmen and Donovan's meetup with her parents because this one, although it still makes no sense to me, I can talk about it because there were some things in there that, I was like, oh, okay. So Carmen is introducing Donovan to her mom and her dad, right? So Carmen lets us know that she has never once introduced a man to both of her parents at the same time. So I'm assuming maybe she introduced a guy to mom and then she didn't introduce him to dad, but then she introduced a guy to dad and didn't introduce him to mom. So this is the first time she's doing that, right? So we find out that her dad is an ex-Marine and her mother is a pastor. I was like, oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense about Carmen now. Because like things are starting to add up when it comes to Carmen. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's why she does the things that she does. Cool. So we found out, now I don't know if we knew this, but Donovan has 2 kids, right? He has a 16-year-old boy and an 11-year-old daughter. Now, I don't know if we ever found this out, but also he has 2 kids by 2 different women, right? Now, when Carmen's dad asked the question, about her being a disciplinarian to the kids, I'm like, we're moving a little bit too fast, sir. Like, they don't even know each other that well for you to say, can she discipline his kids? His answer should have been no. He said his kids are well behaved, but I would have said, at this present time, right now, I can't say that she can discipline my kids, right? Like, we have to build a deeper bond and a connection, and the mother of my kids then have to meet her and be okay with her being around our kids. And then after that, if we see things progressing, then absolutely. But my kids are very well behaved, right? I don't know how you can discipline a 16-year-old though. That one I don't know. You can't really you can punish a 16-year-old, like you can take their car. My mother tried that plenty of times. Tried to take my car and my phone. It didn't work because homegirl didn't want to drive me places, especially because I got my car when I was 15 years old because I had my learner's permit. She didn't want me to drive my car at first until I got my actual license. And even when I got my actual license, she was like, mm-mm. Actually, when I got my license, because I had restrictions, right? I couldn't drive after a certain time at night. I couldn't have my friends in the car without an adult with me or something like that. And it was only a certain amount of people that I could have in the car with me. That was just when I was 16. Actually, that was at 15. That was 15. Then when I turned 16, those restrictions were lifted, right? But yeah, homegirl tried to take the car from me, and then she did it. She took the keys from me one day, and I was like, okay, well, you take the keys from me, then you're gonna have to drive me, right? And I asked, I'm like, well, I want to go here, I want to go there, right? So I'm like, you gonna drive me and drop me off and come back and pick me up? She did that, right? She dropped me, and then I was like, okay, now I want to go here. She's like, oh no, Jerome, here, take your keys, because she said, I'm not gonna do this, because I want to go to the mall. It was a Saturday. I want to go to the mall, to the movies, and she's like, I'm not about to drive you around. She said, take your keys, you go. But she said, you're still in trouble. You're still in trouble. So what she did at that point was she gave me a curfew that I couldn't be out past a certain time. I was like, that's fine. But sister girl gave me them keys back because she didn't want to drive that car. She didn't want to drive me around. But hey, that's neither here nor there. So then, Carmen's dad asked Donovan the question of, with his ex-wife, what happened in the marriage? Why are they no longer together, right? So he stepped outside of his marriage, right? So her dad asked him the question of, okay, well, you stepped outside of your marriage. How do I know you won't cheat on my daughter, right? Sir, let me tell you a little secret. You don't know that he won't he won't cheat on your daughter, right? So what happened at that point was he was like, there were underlying factors in their relationship, in his marriage. And I was sitting here thinking to myself, like, so did you just literally sit here and blame your ex-wife for you cheating on her? And that leads me to this tweet that I tweeted last night, right? So this season, that was the running thing with a lot of these men. I think like over half of them actually. I think Paul was married. Was Paul married? I think every man this season has been married. Donovan was married before. Clifton has been married. Demetrius was married. I don't believe Tori was married. I don't believe Tori has been married. And the young kid, I don't think he was married, right? But a good majority of these men were married and previously married. And my question was, and I think if other men that were married and that are divorced, I want to say at least half of them admitted that they've cheated in their marriages, right? And I'm just like, so what now makes Tim ready to love? The favorite thing with this season's men were, I did cheat. I did cheat in my marriage, but after that, I went to therapy and I'm doing the work. That wouldn't work for me. I don't believe in a whole mindset of once a cheater, always a cheater, but that just wouldn't work for me. Like, you would really have to show me that you've done the work. You can say it. You can say it until the cows come home. You can say it until you're blue in the face, but I need concrete evidence that, you've done the work. I don't want to go to therapy with you because I don't believe that, right? I just want to see. You have to show me that that's not who you are anymore, but hey, it is what it is, right? So these last two dates, I'm about to breeze through them because I don't understand why we needed them. So Joy and Clifton. So Joy had Clifton meet her sister. Honestly, like I said, I don't understand why we needed this date. Because in this date, we talked about Joy and her going out of the country to Mexico. Clifton said he would be there to help her with her bit. I guess she has shirts and stuff or whatnot. I was just like, why do we need this date? It's just like, what the is going on here, right? Then we had another scene with them later in the episode, and they were once again talking about Joy going to Mexico, right? But Clifton, he's like, I got you, right? I'm gonna be down for you, right? Now, someone on my Twitter, because I tweeted this, right? Because when they said that now they get to have sex with each other, the person that tweeted me, one person tweeted me, said she thinks that they were joking about that situation. I don't know if Joy and Clifton were joking or not, but I tweeted like, y'all been having sex. Y'all had sex. Y'all probably had sex before that damn trip that y'all took, right? Y'all had sex on the trip. But that's that. So then we move over and we have this date with Paul and Dakia. So Dakia is introducing Paul to her mom and her brother. Her mom is her twin. They look exactly alike, right? So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't listen to nothing. I did hear that date, but I wasn't paying the slightest bit of attention to it because I was just like, why is Dakia doing this, right? You and Paul just recently started dating, right? Just before this process is about to wrap up. So there's no connection, there's no nothing with you two. So I am just confused. And then when they met up to make their decision, Paul's talking about they've been dating. Since when? Before the commercial break? Like, okay. I'm tired, you guys. But I'm going to pause here and we're going to wrap up the episode. Alright, you guys. So to sum it up, I'm just going to go down the line of who picked who didn't pick who, right? So, Carmen and Donovan, they met up with each other, right? Donovan picked Carmen. They went to a commercial break because he pulled something out of his jacket pocket. I was like, y'all are being so dramatic. we all know that is not a ring box. Like, I don't know why y'all are being melodramatic at this point, right? He pulled out a ticket, right? So I guess they're gonna take a trip, right? Carmen chose him. Whoop-de-doo. I don't see them lasting at all. Then we got Paul and Dakia meeting up, right? So Paul went first. Paul said he's gonna pick him. Obviously, you're gonna pick yourself because I know you know that Dakia is not picking you. And Dakia said, you know what? I'm picking myself too because I don't want to have to feel like we're just doing this just to do it. Thank God, because I feel like that's what Carmen and Donovan just did. Because I really just feel like that's what Carmen and Donovan just did. Just picked each other just for the fuck of it. Then we end with Joy and Clifton. Clifton had this sign asking her to, pick him. She picked him. I don't care. It is what it is. That is it, you guys. I don't see any of these, the four couples, well, the two couples. I don't see them lasting. I don't see anything between Donovan and Carmen. I fully expect to get to the reunion and Donovan and Carmen tell us that they're not together. I fully expect to get to the reunion and hear that, Joy and Clifton, they tried to make a run of it, but the distance was just too much for them and they're not together. I fully expect to find out that some people who have left prior to the season, prior to, the reunion, they may have talked to each other. They may be having I feel like that might be something we get, that people we didn't expect to be in a relationship with each other are dating each other. But other than that, I don't see it for them. I don't care. I am over this season. Let's move on to this reunion. The reunion looks messy as hell. But that's it. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. I know how we all feel about this season. But yeah, leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe. Turn your notifications. Share the video. And until the next time, you guys, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, you guys. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Be blessed. And I will be seeing you guys later. So I do want to let you guys know that this week I'm not going to be reviewing Marriage Bootcamp Hip Hop Edition. I don't think I am. I could do it, but I just don't see myself doing it. I also will be doing not Ready to Love. This is Ready to Love. I'll be doing Love After Lockup as well as Love and Marriage Huntsville. If you guys don't see them tonight, you guys will see them tomorrow sometime. But that's it. I'll see you guys later. Peace.